because I spoke to someone. Their children can go to college.
Yes.
Right? We've helped so many people get out of debt.
Yes.
I paid so many death claims, which, I started losing count. The death claims that we've paid, even through this COVID season, has been horrendous.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
But, when we come to, I always like to ask people a question, right? If someone that you love passed away, what would make the biggest difference? If I brought a bouquet of flowers or a $500,000 check?
Now, Blanca, what I wanted you to talk about specifically, since we are going to be talking about income protection. Now, first of all, let's define for folks, what is protecting someone's income? What do we mean by that?
Yes.
And then we're going to talk about why should we be doing it.
Fantastic. Well, first of all, we have to consider, ladies, that when somebody that we love passes away, there are two deaths that are just taking place. The death of the person that we love dearly, to death do us part, extremely emotional to lose somebody that we love. But instantly, that loved one's paycheck can also disappear. You see, just think about kissing our loved ones in the morning, they say, see you later on, and all of a sudden there's a car accident, wrong place at the wrong time, and that person never makes it back home. Very emotional and devastating. You see, a widow or widower may not have the time to mourn properly because immediately they're thinking about, oh my God, today's the 21st of the month. In a couple of more days, I have to pay the mortgage. I have to pay the rent. I have to pay all these bills, right? And they're not going to be able to process what just happened the right way. So income protection is exactly that, protecting the income of the people that we love. Should we no longer be there to provide for them? You see, a lot of people call it life insurance, right? But we call it the, income protection, because the reality of the fact, gone are the days where all we need is just a $10,000 policy to bury someone that we love. We have to consider, Beatrice, right, that there's a cycle that takes place, right, an evolution. We have to think about the reasons why people need insurance, right? Do they have a mortgage? Are they going to leave a mortgage behind? Right? Are they going to leave young children behind? Are there debts that are going to be left behind? If there's a husband and a wife legally married, the debts belong to the other spouse if they pass away, right? So there's a formula that we use to identify how much insurance somebody needs, right? And it spells out the word DIME, D-I-M-E, right? It's an acronym. And each letter basically identifies what needs to be protected, right? So the D represents the amount of debt that someone will leave behind if we're no longer around to provide for them. The I represents the income that we're accustomed to bringing into the household, right? And typically it should be at least, anywhere from 5 to 10 times that person's income to last them for a period. The M represents the mortgage balance, right? And then the E represents educating our children and any additional expenses. Right, so it's important to look at that formula and provide, what's important to me. If God forbid, I was no longer here to provide for the people that I love, what are the things that I want to make sure that my spouse can take care of without any financial burden or stress?
Yes, and I can personally testify to this. I remember when my dad passed away. I remember that. Again, like you said earlier, when you lose someone, one of my friends who's very funny used to say, people may cry twice. They cry, first of all, they lose someone, and then they will pass a second time if they're in financial distress. But now, when that person when the person's income, like you mentioned earlier, is protected, yes, you will go to missing the individual, but financially, you won't have that stress because you can take care of everything. You can take care of the expenses and so on.
Exactly. So, and something that's really important also, Beatrice, we call that the last love letter. Right? The last love letter, the person has left you, right? And that love letter, ladies and gentlemen, can read one of two different ways. If God forbid I pass away, you're on your own. I don't give a crap what happens. You could be out in the streets, living in somebody's couch with the 4 children, right? You could be burning in debt. Or you can say to them, you know what, I love you so much. while I was alive.
Mm-hmm.
That even if I'm not here to provide for you, I still want to be able to provide every financial need for you. I want to make sure you can keep the house for the children. I want to make sure I'm not leaving you with debt. I want to make sure that, you have wiggle room and breathing space, right?
Yeah.
And we have to identify what kind of love letter we want to leave to the people that we love.
Yeah. So you said earlier that you do that dime exercise in order to determine, how much protection a family needs.
Yes.
That's correct.
Correct.
Okay. So is that something that you do like on a one-on-one basis?
One-on-one basis. Yes, one-on-one basis. Now, keep in mind also that when we do the financial game plan for the family, right,
Yes.
what they need is not always what they can afford.
Yes.
Right. So I always tell my clients, having some form of insurance is better than having no insurance.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Because
Yes.
the first thing is you don't want, first of all, GoFundMe. A lot of people tend to go to GoFundMe
Mm-hmm.
when they don't have insurance, right? Having to.
Yes.
I remember as a child, having, seeing people knocking on our door with a can, an empty can of Bustelo, of coffee, right, collecting from door to door. And even still till this day, it's now called GoFundMe. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we have to be responsible adults and not leave that burden on nobody else. Because we all know that one day the good Lord is going to take us.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Why not? Mm-hmm. Yes, that is very crucial. Because I remember when I first came to this country, Blanca, I didn't know anything at all about income protection whatsoever. And the only worry I had was my mother. And I was telling myself, what would happen to my mom if I passed away?
Right.
I remember walking on Manhattan, and that thought was in my mind all the time. And I walked to a bank and asked to see one of these people working there and asked about life insurance. I myself walked in there and asked about the information. Of course, they gave me the wrong one because I was pretty young at the time, but that was one of the concerns that I have when I first got into this country. So when I met you now, you sat me down and educated me. I remember that we had what we call a financial need analysis. I remember that. And let me tell you, this is an exercise that covers every area of your life in terms of finances, and it gives you like a blueprint.
I don't know what competition works for, but we know all that stuff. We've done it.
That also covered everything else that that goes on into this family. So that's what I wanted you to come along and explain to everybody here the importance of income protection, because we tend to forget. I don't know if there's anybody who has any questions listening here. If everything is clear from what Blanca just described. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask while we're here, because I'm trying to pick Blanca's brain while she's sitting here with us.
Beatrice, I want to add something also.
Yes, ma'am.
In case anybody has any questions, just let me know. I'll definitely be happy to answer the questions. But I want to add, when it comes to life insurance, we believe that nobody needs insurance for the rest of their life. There comes a time in your life, and this is so important, you see, because there's so many people out there focused on, I need life insurance forever. No, you don't. You see, there's two types of life insurances: whole life insurance and term insurance. And whole life insurance means you're paying for the policy for how long? Your whole life.
Your entire life.
That's what they call it, whole life, right? To the age of 100. Now, it tends to be more expensive also. You have the cash value building up inside of it, right? So I think it's important to explain the difference. You have the cash value building inside of it. However, what happens, ladies, even though you have the cash value building inside of it, what's going to happen is that if you need some of that money from the cash value, you can only take it in form of a loan, typically at an 8% interest rate. Does it make sense for you to have to borrow your own money?
No, it does not.
It's supposed to be your money, but now you have to take it as a loan at an 8% interest rate. If you don't pay it, it comes out of the face value, right? Meaning your family will get less. So another thing also to consider about the whole life is basically consider this, right? Let's say you're going to go to a wedding and you buy a suit, right? The blazer, or or a dress with a blazer, right? And all of a sudden you go to the day of the wedding, open up the outfit, and there's one of the pieces missing. Right? Let's say they gave you the blazer but not the dress. Right? Even though you paid for two things, you're only getting one. So if God forbid somebody passes away, you have the cash value and you have the face value. The beneficiaries are only going to receive one or the other, but not both, even though you're paying for two things. With term insurance, because it's a lot cheaper, you're able to get so much more protection at the fraction of the cost. And we explain to the clients, let's take the excess that you would have been spending, and now that work on building that money in mutual funds, diversified portfolios, where it's earning you much better returns. And now truly you have two things. You have your life insurance and your investments completely separate. So life insurance should never be commingled. Your investments should never be commingled within your life insurance policies.
Yes, and I think this is the misconception that most people have when it comes to income protection, is by thinking that when they have life insurance, it's like they consider it like an investment. This is the weirdest thing for me. It doesn't really make sense.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So it's not. It is not.
No, it's not. You see, the best way to become self-insured is by building your investments. Because if you have $300,000, $500,000 of investments, can you easily take $20,000 of that and set it aside for a burial, for final expenses? And you have the rest to enjoy. And now what you were spending on life insurance moving forward, we can also continue building for financial peace and financial freedom.
Absolutely. And this is what you've done for me. This is what you've done for me in terms of helping me setting up the income protection, by doing the financial need analysis. We've done that, and then you helped me also with the investment aspect.
Yes.
Years ago. It's been years.
Yes, indeed.
It's been years since we've done that. And I also remembered when I switched companies, when I switched jobs. So whatever money I had in that 401k will help me move that as well. So ladies, Blanca here is not only an agent in terms of life insurance, in terms of income protection, but also she can also help with investment. So this is like I call her a boatload of knowledge.
We are actually a one-stop shop. We are a supermarket of a supermarket of services overall.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Does anybody have any question here? I see a lot of folks in here, but I don't see any question. Any question, ladies? Feel free to ask them while we have her here. And then also, what I remember when my dad passed away, like I said earlier, the financial burden was not we didn't have that, and everything. I mean, guys, let me try to explain something. That's why I always tell my friends, make sure you have money on either form it is. Because money helps you in so many ways. People are saying, money doesn't do whatever, but I'd rather have it than not to have it.
Yes.
That's my stand on this. Because when there's money somewhere, life becomes easier. Because I remember when my dad passed away, because when we went to the funeral home, because we had the insurance in place, you should see how easy everything went.
Yeah.
First of all, you don't even have to talk a lot. They deal directly. The insurance company pays the funeral home directly. So that burden was off our shoulder. We don't have to worry about that. And that's why I introduced Blanca to my family members. I say, hey, use the lady. There she is. So take advantage of her. Go ahead and take advantage of her, because money money, either it's in the form of investment, either it's in real estate, either it's income protection. All these things are needed. All these things are needed to relieve stress in your life. Would you agree?
That's right. And you know what? I want to add also, it's about financial peace.
Yes.
Giving you that financial peace to know that if, God forbid, the good Lord took you, it was your last breath, you know that your family is going to be well taken care of, right? I mean, I always like to tell folks, you know what, my husband and I, we only have one TV in the living room, right? Only one TV. And if, God forbid, someone had to stay with us and they had children, we will welcome them. But there's only one TV. And we have a system. We have a system, right? And a lot of times, you may welcome people into your home if, God forbid, they're homeless, they lost their spouse and they need that stability for a little bit. But the reality of the fact is that after a while, it's going to be uncomfortable for them. It's going to be uncomfortable for you. Why put our families through that? Right? Why put our families through that when we can, just make sure that while we're alive, we're putting things in place?
Yes.
Right. And it's not only for, for them, but also for us, because, you mentioned, the investments. The investments are so critical because the investments are what are going to allow you to live the best life.
Absolutely.
We're born or raised to just pay bills. And a lot of people work and they pay bills, living paycheck to paycheck. But if we have a concrete, structured financial game plan in place, when it's time for us to say, you know what, I'm ready to buy that house. I'm ready to take those fun vacations. You're creating these fun memories for yourself and your family because you plan for them.
Yes.
Think about how many people take a vacation, Beatrice, and they come back stressed out and worried because they really didn't plan for that vacation properly. They didn't pay their bills before they left. And now they're worried, So if you have everything in place, you see, it's all about building your financial house from the bottom up.
Thanks, Veronica.
Right, from the bottom up. Nobody ever builds a house from the roof down, right? You build a strong foundation. And that foundation has to be very strong and solid. Imagine if you build a house, strong foundation, strong second floor. The third floor is on quicksand or on sand, right? And then the fourth floor is concrete. The house is going to cave.
It is.
And that's why when we sit down with our prospective clients, we provide them with a financial assessment. The financial analysis is so critical. Most companies, by the way, will charge you anywhere from $500 to $2,000 for the financial assessment. It's a service we provide completely complimentary. It's confidential and it's personal.
Yes.
Right, personalized, totally confidential. And we provide you that financial assessment on a yearly basis because this is a GPS of your finances. Right, just like it is important for you to go to the doctor on a yearly basis to get a complete checkup. That's early detection can save your life. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Yes, I would.
The same thing with your finances.
Yes. And then, Blanca, I cannot tell you how grateful I am. And I've been sharing this with my friends all the time and even on this group with the ladies because everything I know, now if I can hold a mortgage document, I'm able to read it and understand it just because of you. You sat me down and taught me how to read these things. You taught me about the mortgages, the escrow and things, how you don't have to stay in there. You taught me all these things. And I'm able now to negotiate with the bank and say, no, I don't want escrow in here. Just because you taught me, because again, guys, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Once you know, you know. There's a lot of things that we are missing out on. It's because, we just don't know, nobody ever shared it with us, or we don't know. T is asking what company you are with. Do you service out of city? Yes, we're going to get into this, Tanita. We're going to get into this. We just wanted to make sure that people understand the necessity of what we are talking about. All right? Yeah, of what we're talking about. Thank you, T. So it is very key, to be equipped with this type of knowledge, and so you can continue in life and then gain things because knowledge. Because what I can tell you, Blanca, you really taught me a lot when it comes to money.
Thank you.
When it comes to finances. Because if I'm sitting down right now, it's because you taught me these things. If I'm at home, in the office, in my office right now, one lady yesterday, I don't know if she's not on the live. She said, I need to come to Beatrice's financial classes. Because that's all I talk in the office. I'm telling folks to do this. I'm telling folks to invest. I'm telling folks to buy houses, to get insurance, to do this, into that. She said, oh, I want to come into, I said, B, can you, I need info. I said, okay, I'm doing a live with my financial advisor tomorrow. Join in. So and hopefully she's going to be able to see this live and benefit from the information you're going to be sharing. Because again, this is crucial. This is crucial. You know, when we work hard for the money, for our money. So we need to be able to protect it and protect it properly. Properly. Somebody asked, Tonita asked earlier, this topic is so important. Yes, Tonita, it is very important. That's why it was very dear to my heart to share this, because I don't have all the knowledge. I only know what she taught me. But she's the licensed person. She knows these things. So Tonita was asking the company you were with, Blanca, if somebody can pin the phone number. Let me see if I can type the phone number here in the comment section. Blanca, go ahead and give it to me. I'm going to plug it in.
Yeah, so
if somebody want to reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can give them 646 529 5205.
Yes.
And Tonita, I am licensed in multiple states.
Yes.
I meet my clients virtually on Zoom. And the name of the company is Primerica.
Oh, yes. Primerica.
I'm going to plug in your number here. That way they have it in the comment section. All right. Let's see. Let me see if we have any. Thank you, Bebel. Thank you for plugging the number for me.
No, it's actually 529.
529. Yep.
529 5205.
Yep. I put it in there. 529. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Does anybody have any questions? Because I know we have a lot of folks online. Thank you, Nat.
I also want to say, as we continue, that, we're saying power is knowledge, but you know what? Power alone is not knowledgeable unless we utilize what we learn.
Yes.
And, if we see value and we start taking advantage, that's where the transformation is going to start taking place. Because, everything is an evolution, right? We have to keep moving. We're either going to stay stagnant, we're moving backwards, or we're moving forward.
Yes.
But when we start making movement forward, it's a beautiful thing. Beatrice, I thank you so much for saying everything that you've been saying about me, but it's a beautiful thing when you do not allow no company to take advantage of you, including the banking industry, ladies and gentlemen, including the mortgage companies, banking industries. You have to have someone that can read these documents for you and dissect the language, because the language is so convoluted and confusing. And the moment you sign on that dotted line, you are in contract.
Yes, ma'am.
You see, so you want to make sure you have, and I say that also because we also have legal, we have a program of lawyers. Right?
Yes.
And it's awesome to have folks on your side that are going to do the best thing for you and not for the company.
See, you asking me to pin it? I don't know how to do that yet, my dear. I'm getting there. Tonita is asking me to pin the number. I don't know how to do that yet. That's my second live, everybody. So bear with me. Yes, ma'am. So I don't see any question. Let's see. Thanks, Lucy. Yeah, Lucy's saying she's been with you for over 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know this evening we spoke about how to protect the income. And again, this is through the life insurance and everything. I think what I would like to do is to see if eventually one day you may give us like a session in terms of the differences between the different, even if it's like 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
The different type of life insurance, even if it's on a Sunday, whatever day it's available for you, to educate everybody in terms of which one is the best.
Absolutely.
So I think that would help us a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
That helped me. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and you know what? I would say also, you know, when it comes to income protection, one of the things that we are really adamant about is looking at two different parts of your life. If God forbid you die too soon, providing for the people that you love. But what about, you see, if you're alive for many, many years to come? If you're alive, right, so we also protect you if you die too soon, but also we want to protect you if you live for a very long time. And the way that we do that part is by making sure that you're investing adequately in the right places, earning the best possible rates of return. You see, and unfortunately, it's so funny, I'm thinking about a prospective client that I'm meeting with soon, and she sent me her documents, and her checking account and her savings account says high bearing interest rate. And when I started scrolling through the paperwork, ladies and gentlemen, I started to laugh. High bearing interest rate. Her checking account is giving her 0.05%.
Yes.
And her savings account is giving her 0.03%. And they have the audacity to call that high interest bearing.
Blanca, I can testify to this.
Something wrong with that.
Something is wrong with that picture. Something is wrong with that picture. You can have $50,000, $100,000 at the bank in your saving. They have the nerve, even if they call it, you know, high interest, whatever, to give you 0.13.
Exactly. See, so you may look at that and say, oh, you know what, I have a good account, right? I always ask clients, what is the interest rate you're earning on your bank account? And a lot of them, you know, they think, oh, it's 3%, 2%. No, it's not. Go to your bank and ask them.
Yeah, there's that. We have Evelise Cologne. She's asking, why is it so important, Blanca? Why is it so important for women to take control of their finances?
Evelise, that's an excellent question. First of all, there's many reasons why it's so important for women to take control of their finances. You have to think about this, right? Women take more time out of work than men do to raise their children. Correct? Women tend to switch from jobs to jobs more. But more importantly, women live longer than men. If we're going to be around longer than men, we need more money for those extra years of sustainability. But because also they're raising children, they have to take the kids to hospital appointments and so forth, they tend to also receive less when it's time for them to retire because they haven't worked as long as the men typically work. Right. So it's important for us to really get a handle of our finances. And when we think about, you know, since Evelise asked that question, when we think about preparing effectively, I mentioned building the financial house from the bottom up. Right. Building a financial house from the bottom up means having your income protection in place. The income protection is the most important part of your financial game plan. Because if God forbid, you see, when I ask people, what is the most important asset that you have? Right. The answer that they give me is pretty alarming. Oh, it's my house. It's my bank account. No, it's not. Your most important asset that you have is your ability to generate income.
To generate, Ooh, Blanca. Say that again. Say that again, Blanca, please.
Generate income is your most valuable asset. Because if God forbid you're no longer able to generate income, you cannot pay that mortgage. You cannot pay the bills. You have to take your kids out of private school. Your debts are going to be overwhelming. You see, so your ability to generate income is your most valuable asset.
Yep. I'm letting that sink in.
Yeah, and you see, women tend to make less than men, right, on average, you know, and that's starting to change, which is a good thing. Right? Yes. Women are fierce. Women are dominating. Women are very emotional too. And, you know, but the reality of the fact, we women, because we may be around for much longer, there's a lot of single moms also. Correct?
Yes.
You see, there's a lot of women out there that don't have two incomes. They're doing everything with one income alone. Right? And I give it up to those women because, you know, God forbid, you know, I mean, they do the very best for their children, right? I mean, who would take care of your children better than you? Right? If you're not to take care of them, who's going to take care of them better than you? And you don't want to leave it up to anyone. You see, I mean, you may, your sister, your brother, somebody may take your children, but they may not be able to take all four. Right? So your kids all of a sudden are scattered, you know, different households. Make sense?
Awesome.
And those people that are going to raise your children may not have the financial resources to take. They may be struggling themselves.
Yes. Yeah. And then we don't want to pass away and then your kids' life be upside down. You know?
Exactly.
That's the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we see, you know, family may be doing well while the husband or whoever the breadwinner was, and God forbid all of a sudden that person passed away. Sometimes the kids are not able to even continue going to school. College, they won't be able to go to college.
That's right.
You know, so they have to, you know, quit school and then start working, you know, while if there was some type of protection of that income, they will continue to pursue their dream.
That's right. And I do workshops also for children.
Okay.
Right, through the school system, you know, the parent coordinators, and you know, that's one of the things that we're really passionate about is being able to educate the young generation, and teach them these principles so that they can walk in. You see, they get allowances or whatever. They start opening up bank accounts. Help them understand these principles from early on so they can make better financial decisions themselves. You see, because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I know when I went to college, the first thing that I saw when I walked into, you know, before I got in, was a table of folks asking us to apply for credit cards. And they were giving us a candy bar, a T-shirt, right, to apply for.
Oh my God, that
students
discovery!
Without jobs. But they're giving us these credit cards, and how giddy are we to go and spend, right? When you know, we're clueless, and we need to start teaching the young generation. If you have children, start teaching them these concepts.
Yes,
start teaching them.
Also,
yes.
Now that you're mentioning that, when we sat down with you, you didn't only share about the income protection and so on. You even taught us how to get out of debt.
Yes.
So like I said, with Blanca, that's why I said in the title of this live, I said how to generate and protect your income. Because by helping us eliminating debt, and you're the one who opened my eyes in terms of, you know, how to read a credit card statement and how to, you know, you educate me in terms of how to responsibly manage or use credit cards. You know, people take credit cards like, you know, it's like whatever. It's like a prize. No, you have to use these things responsibly, you know, so you don't get yourself into debt.
Yes.
And I know you sit down with folks and educate them in this particular area as well.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, when it comes to debt, there's two types of debt. You
have good debt,
you have bad debt.
Good debt and bad
debt is bad.
Exactly.
Because you need to build credit. You just have to make sure that you pay your debts as you get them. Right? Consider this, right? You can go to a department store. And the workers at the department store, let's say TJ Maxx, Home Goods, whatever it could be, they are trained to ask you a very magical question. I don't know if any of you know this, right? But they're going to ask you, would you like to apply for a credit card today? Right? And guess what? It's a training technique. But the reality of the fact, and I laughed at them, I said, you know what? I teach people how to get out of debt every single day. I've been in debt and I didn't like it. Right? I'd rather be out of debt. I feel more liberated. I can enjoy my money more. I can take more vacations and save more money. But the reality of the fact is that the first question that I would want you to ask them is, what is the interest rate you're going to charge me? Don't get so excited about applying for that credit card that's going to hurt you. Because guess what? Department store credit cards come with a very high interest rate. 26.99%. Very high interest rate. And you would be doing yourself an injustice. Listen, I have a jar over here of credit cards that I have had my clients clip. Right? We perform plastic surgery.
I remember.
And my clients get so nervous when I ask them for the scissors. I tell them, lay out all your credit cards. Right?
Yeah, that's not trembling.
Credit cards and bring me a pair of scissors. And I have them actually perform, but I don't have them cut all the credit cards. Because they do need to continue building their credit.
Build credit.
But I do have them cut the ones that are hurting them. And then when I do the financial assessment for them, it's not about just putting a Band-Aid on the situation. It's about correcting from the roots, from the bottom of the problem, so that person, because most people that get out of debt, guess what happens?
They go back into it.
They go back into it, right? So I like to get them excited about the reasons why get out of debt, right? And we talk about their goals and dreams, the vacations they want to take, the fun memories they want to create for the children, right? How great would it feel when you're handed those keys to your home, right? And you have those keys to your home and you're looking at your home and how magical the home feels, right? You're sitting in your backyard, and just, creating those fun visuals for the client so that now they're connected to accomplishing their goals and dreams, and being in debt is no longer something that they want in their life. Because debt is a cancer. It really does destroy your dreams.
And also, I find it funny sometimes when you go to the store. I remember even last week, I went to Sam, and when I get to the cashier, she said, would you like to save $50 on your purchase today? All you have to do is to apply for this credit card. I'm like, what's the catch? So if you are willing to give me $50 off my purchase just for me to apply for a credit card,
right?
I mean, why not? So it doesn't make any sense.
No. And I don't know,
trying to trap you in.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember, back in the days, McDonald's had the same technique, right? You would go into McDonald's and they would ask you, do you want to supersize your meal today? Do you want 2 apple pies with your meal? You had no intention of supersizing or buying apple pies, but just because they asked you the question, they know, statistically proven, folks are going to say yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
80% are going to say yes. And now, guess what? We're getting wider and our wallets are getting smaller.
Oh, my God. I seen that said that she was excited that she remember that happened to her at college. She was excited to see all these credit cards, offers. She thought it was cool at the time.
You thought it was cool too, until the bill comes in, and you got no money to pay it.
Oh my God! Oh my goodness! I remember those days. I remember those days. I remember those days. And thank you so much, Blanca. Thank you so much for sharing with us your knowledge tonight. Now, if someone, let's say someone would like to generate or create extra income, is that something you can help them do?
Absolutely. That's an awesome question. Absolutely. Guess what? We have multiple streams of income. One of the uniquenesses of our company is the multiple ways that we can empower families. Right? Yes. I mean, when I say multiple ways, we have identity theft, we have the legal services, we have Vivint, car insurance, home insurance, the life insurance. We just also started doing Medicare after last week, right, for seniors. We have the investments, the 401k plans, the mutual funds, annuities, managed accounts. You name it. We just signed the contract with Quicken Loans, so we're going to be doing mortgages coming up soon. So we are a plethora of services, multiple streams of income. The average person gets paid bi-weekly at a job, correct? Twice a month. How fabulous would it be if you can work at the comfort of your home from anywhere, right? My husband and I went on vacation. We were in St. Croix for 3 weeks, and we ran our business by the beach, by the pool.
I saw you. Yes, I saw you.
And it was fabulous to be able to know that I can go away for as long as I wanted to without no limitations. Didn't have to act a boss for any time. We decided to extend our time, and it was wonderful. Right, so the freedom and flexibility is dynamite. Our company also sponsors both of the licensing process, which is amazing. And the courses can be taken online. So now a lot of what we do is complete virtual.
Okay. So let's say someone said, I would like to learn more about, I have a job now, but I know from what you shared, I think it's important to have a second stream of income. Can they reach out to you and you can sat them down and then explain what to do and everything?
Absolutely. Listen, my plan B turned out to be my plan A and my only plan. Right, so a lot of people that come into this business start off on a part-time basis. They have a job, they have a full-time job. Listen, I was happy with my job at Payne Weber. I loved my job, right? And little did I know, that something really changed my life for the better, right? And I'm forever grateful because through this opportunity, we've empowered and educated so many people, made a difference. I said it in the beginning, right? Every time I go to sleep, I don't think about the people that said no. I think about the people that say yes, the people's lives that I've changed.
Yes.
Right? And the children's colleges, the kids, that are going to go to college, people that are getting out of debt, and just people that I've brought that peace of mind into their home. And it brings me a lot of joy.
And one thing that I learned also from you, when somebody says no, when they said no, it might mean different things. It might mean I don't understand.
Exactly.
It might mean tell me more. Or it might mean it's not the right time yet.
Absolutely.
Because it's the right time, that person will be looking for you. You don't have to chase them.
No, exactly. When it's the right time, it's the right time.
Yeah, it's the right time. It's the right time.
If they're hungry enough and they want something different, listen, there comes a time when people are just, they hit that plateau. They feel like they haven't accomplished what they've, the good Lord put them on this earth to accomplish. And they feel like, is my boss seeing me? Am I invisible? Right? And the reality of the fact is that you may be invisible to them, but you're not invisible to us.
So we have Blanca's phone number pinned in here. I don't know if somebody pinned it for me or not. I don't know how to do that. I'll figure it out. So somebody can reach out directly to you, Blanca, and you can set up a meeting and then talk about whatever their plans are, whatever dream they have. And I know you're going to help them to do that.
Absolutely. And just for everyone to know, I'm in Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer your questions, set up a one-on-one Zoom, to just go into details and go through, whatever it is that you need help with. Be very happy.
Awesome. We have Nat Flo. Nat Flo just said, I need help. So that's the Haitian accent. I need help. She said, this is my right time. So Nat Flo, go ahead and reach out to Blanca. We have her number in the comments, 646-529-5205. You can reach out to her directly. Or send her a friend request on Facebook. She's on Facebook too. It's everywhere.
Juanita, yes, I do. We can set up an appointment over the weekend.
Yes,
over the weekend or even after 6 if you like.
Yes. And let's see. Okay. Veronica Acosta said, I have and I am proof taking the steps to empower myself as a woman following Blanca. Thank you so much for this comment, Veronica. Thank you so much. Let's see if I have any.
Thank you, Isabel.
Comment. Thanks, Babel. Oh yes, we definitely will have Blanca again because today we only touched the surface. We only touched the surface. We're gonna squeeze the knowledge out of her.
Peters, if I can add one more thing, when it comes to, I want to also just encourage everyone to please make sure with everything that you do, please make sure that you have your bank account, your investments at work, 403Bs, 401k, TDAs. Make sure that you have your primary beneficiaries, but also your contingent beneficiaries. You see, a bank will open up a bank account for you, but they never ask you who do you want to list as a beneficiary. And if God forbid you pass away, guess who keeps your money?
They keep it.
The government keeps your money. So you always want to make sure you have contingent beneficiaries listed as well. And the contingents are basically the secondaries to collect in the event that the primaries pass away.
Okay. So if a couple opens a bank account, right? So how do we do that? So
if a couple opens a bank account and it's joint with
Yes.
their names, one
Yes.
passes away, the other one has access. But
okay,
if, let's say if we have one person, a lot of couples tend to do banking separate. Right. So if you're doing your banking separate, then you want to make sure that you're each other's beneficiaries, but that you also have contingents. The same goes with your single moms and so forth, or anybody that has a bank account or 401k, 403b, anything that you're listing beneficiaries, always primaries and always contingents.
Would you recommend if a couple have joint account to still have that contingent beneficiary? Because what if both pass away at the same time? You never know.
Good question.
Absolutely.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure. Because you're right. Because if they both, God forbid, are in a plane together or car accident or whatever, now we have all that money sitting in a bank account. The family would have to go. The family can get it, but they have to go through probate. They have to hire lawyers. It's a pain in the rear end, and it's very stressful. So it's a lot easier. The names are already listed, and there's no easy peasy, no worries.
My God said it. Great question. Who gets the money?
Yeah, listen, I think the government has enough money already. Government has enough money, so might as well leave it to someone that you love, even if it's your sisters and nephews and so forth, right? But better your family members than the government.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Blanca, for this evening. And again, I'm gonna reach out to you again for another session where you're gonna tell me which area you want to talk about, where we're gonna get deep into this, and educate our ladies here, on how to because like I said earlier, everything I know now it's because of you.
Thank you. I appreciate
everything
that.
I know is because of you. When it comes to money, when it comes to reading documents, bank statement, and things like that, you sat me down and literally hold my hands.
Well, listen,
I remember those evenings.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
You were a student that you were ready for the information. You grabbed it, you absorbed it, you implemented quickly and immediately. And, and that's important. I can share that's why I said, I don't worry about the ones that didn't listen. I get very excited about the ones that did listen.
Yeah, we have Niji Solomon that said, I like your eyeglasses, Blanca.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Niji. That is funny. You see, even your eyeglasses, they like.
Oh, thank you.
All right, if there's any more questions, ladies, any comments? We cannot hold Blanca forever, even if we want to.
I'm not in a rush. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy. I set this time for this event, so if you have any questions, I'm here for you.
The chat was lit.
Coming up.
The conversation was lit.
I have my next Zoom at 7:30, so I still have at least 15 minutes or so.
Okay.
If anybody wants me to be on it, not then, Beatrice, you let me know.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just checking the timing because we have another meeting coming up right after that too. Thank you. So, okay. Veronica Acosta, she's asking if you could please explain the dime again. Thanks for the question, Veronica.
Okay, the dime is basically an acronym. The letter straight down, D stands for the amount of debt that would be left behind if your spouse passed away.
Oh, debt.
I represents the income that needs to be replaced, the income you're accustomed to bringing into the household to sustain the financial household. M is the mortgage balance. And E is educating your children or any additional expenses. Yeah. So that is basically a good formula to use to identify how much insurance you need. So basically what I do is I do like the Ben Franklin, right? A chart, a pie chart. And I say, okay, the husband, the wife, I put in both sides, how much is his debt, how much is her debt, and then straight down, it'll give me a real clear idea as to how much. And then my next question is, if God forbid you were to pass away, would you want your wife or your husband to have a lower standard of living, the same standard of living, or a higher standard of living?
Or higher standard,
right? And based on their responses, that tells me how much, they want to provide for their loved ones.
Yes. And we have Deb that says, I need help. Yes, Deb. Reach out to Blanca. 646-529-5205.
Yes.
And also, see if you can friend request her. We're going to take advantage of her.
Actually, you can friend request me on Facebook, and I post a lot of good stuff that I think could be very, very beneficial for everyone.
Thank you kindly. Thank you so much, Veronica, for your participation as well. Thanks, Tonida, for putting everything down for us. Tonida put it down for us. Dime, debt, income, mortgage, and education of the children. Awesome, Deb. Definitely reach out to Blanca. She's gonna help you, like she did for me. So that's why I was so excited for tonight. And again, we're going back to this. What I like about Blanca is the fact that she's not only your advisor, teaching you things. She's your friend. I mean, Blanca, I don't know. Sometimes, every year she would call you, regardless, for your birthday. I'm like, this I never forget for so many years. So again, thank you so much, Blanca, for your time with us this afternoon. I'm seeing some comment popping up again. Oh, you already did, Tonina? You already sent her a friend request?
One thing that I remember that, through some of my training, someone said once, and I took it really personal. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Right? And I took it so personal. I'm like, you know what? And so I made a decision when I came into this business that I was going to take care of my clients. Right? That I was going to be there for my clients, that they were going to hear from me. The worst thing that can happen is you hire somebody to help you with your finances, and they do a great job in the beginning, but they disappear. You don't hear from them. I stay in contact with my clients. I do revisitations. I love to call them and make a fool of myself for their birthdays. Right?
I know. Even on Thanksgiving, you call.
So it's building relationships. When any of my clients pass away, I always tell the client, send me the check. I want to deliver the check personally to the family, because the business does not stop when I meet you. The relationship goes on, right? And I take it very personal because you're trusting me.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I want to earn your business. I want to earn your referrals. And, because it's important. If I do a great job for you, you're going to want to recommend me, because you know that I'm doing a great job for you.
Yes. And you can expect a lot of people to reach out to you. Even I have somebody at work also that I already mentioned you many times already to him.
Excellent.
So he needs to set up certain things financially.
Yes.
So you can expect a few calls from some of these folks.
Fantastic.
Oh, okay, you got your calendar here. Okay. It looks like you have your assistant plugging the information for you here.
Yes, I do. Yeah, so you have my calendar. You can feel free. If you book an appointment with me, please just make sure you put in parentheses, right, beautifully made in parentheses, so I know that this is where
the
contact came from.
You. Yes, thank you for saying that, Blanca. Thank you so much. Ladies, when you book your appointment with Blanca, make sure you put beautifully made, so she knows where the referral came from.
Yes.
For saying that, Blanca. I appreciate that. And again, our goal in this group, Blanca, is not just only to have a group, all right? And especially a group of women, we wanted to empower folks, to support. Yes. That's the drive. That's what I joined this group. Just a friend of mine just invited me to the group, and I joined the group just because she was the one who invited me. You see, because I trusted her, and I joined. And I keep watching the group, watching how they do, and I love the spirit of the group. There's one lady in particularly, Isabel. She's the one who founded the group. I loved her spirit. The first time I saw her in a live, I said, I love that lady, just like that. And then I was part of the group, and then, posting here and there and things like that. And next thing you know, now I'm involved. Now I've become a moderator in the group. Now I'm doing this, now I'm doing that. Now here we are. I'm doing a live for the group. And I just learned how to do this yesterday. That was my first live yesterday.
That's part of again, growing, right? Learning and growing.
Yes.
Coming from a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Mm-hmm. So I cannot thank you enough for agreeing to be with us this evening. I mean, it's been over an hour since we've been talking. Thank you so much. And ladies, feel free to reach out to Blanca. Thank you so much for participating. I mean, you make this live so alive. So we have over 115 comments here, people participating and asking questions. Thank you, ladies, for that. Thank you for being present with us. And again, thank you, Blanca. Thank you for our technician, Maga. She's our technician. She put us on YouTube. So we are live on YouTube right now.
Oh wow!
So
Fabulous.
The mail can go on YouTube and go on Beautifully Made and watch us live on YouTube. Fabulous. So now the men can benefit from the knowledge that we're sharing here.
Excellent. And I just want to say, as we wrap up, Isabel, thank you for allowing us into your group. It's an awesome group, and I appreciate you being a part of this. And Beatrice, I mean, I love you to pieces, girl. Totally love you. I fell in love with you the moment that I met you and you were reading Think and Grow Rich on the Train platform. And I said, whoa, this girl is a powerhouse. Because my brain is about those kind of books. You know, and whenever I see someone, I ask you. As a matter of fact, the question that I asked you, are you reading the book? You were all the way over there, right, far away. But I walked all the way to you because I saw the cover of your book. And I asked you, are you reading the book for business or pleasure? And I had already read the book twice at that time, and it's life-changing. So, you know, you were my kind of girl. You were totally my kind of girl.
You were my kind of girl, too, because when you approached me, I'm like, why did that lady approach me? But you had that beautiful smile. You know, we connected right away. Connected right away.
And we ended up working in the same building. How weird is that?
One thing I wanted to share, Blanca, when we met, you know, we would work in Manhattan. And back in the days, you know, it was still expensive. And I remember I was going out for lunch every single day. And one day, I was meeting with you in your office.
Yes.
And you said, B, why are you going out for lunch every single day? Why don't you pack your lunch? I remember that. And I remember at the time, I'm like, why would that woman want me to pack my lunch? That woman is cheap. That's what I was thinking at the time. I'm like, wait a minute. Then I started packing my lunch. Until today, I still pack my lunch and take to work with me. Because I remember at the time, one salad in Manhattan, at the time, over 20 years ago, was $13.
Yes, $15.
Where you would make up your own salad.
Yes.
I shared that with the ladies one time. So that salad only was $30. So imagine me, and then I was getting breakfast also.
Right.
I would never forget bagel and cream cheese and a side of oatmeal and a Tropicana juice every morning. So when you put those together on a daily basis, that's a lot of money.
Exactly.
So you taught me how to save right there alone. Save in terms of, you know, you can splurge once in a blue moon, but not every single day.
Exactly. So small principles that make a big difference.
I never forgot.
Yeah.
And until today, I'm still bringing lunch to work. People ask me, what's for lunch? B, what's for lunch? It's none of your business.
That's right. And you're eating healthier.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Giovanni's there. Yeah, so thank you again, ladies. I cannot thank you enough. They hang out with me. They're still here. They're hanging with us. So if there's no more questions, we're going to have to, $20 salad in Tribeca.
That's so true. Yes,
now it's $20.
Oh, boy.
Now it's $20. Yes, again, I mean, what I can tell the ladies who are going to sit down with you, Blanca, is to get ready. Ladies, get ready for a life to be transformed. Get ready for a life to be transformed. You're going to be so educated. She's not going to only sit down with you and then treat you as a client. That's not going to happen that way. She's going to sit down with you and treat you like a friend and go deep. I mean, everything is confidential anyway. And I mean, you come out of there. It's only one time. It's gonna be consistent. So you're not gonna just deal with her and forget about it. No, you can go back to her and ask her whatever. She's gonna take care of you. She's gonna educate you. Like again, I'm a living testimony of what that lady has done to me. Now, whoever invited you, Blanca, to this business, God bless that person. And God bless you also for listening and sharing with us, because you are real. You are the real deal, and you are consistent. That's what I love about Blanca. She is consistent. She's not going to smile on your face just now and then sit down with you and then do this and do that and then that's it. No, she's consistent. She's going to stay consistent for years. So that's the reason why after 20-something years, I no longer live in New York. I moved twice from New York. We still stay in touch. She will call you out of nowhere, telling you how she loves you and everything. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you also, Blanca, you know why I smile all the time? Why? Because of you. I remember one day you told me, "B, you have a beautiful smile." I did not smile from that day. I did not stop smiling from that day. That's to tell you one word only, touch somebody's heart. So thank you again, ladies, for joining and for staying with us, for spending over an hour and 15 minutes with us. We appreciate you, and feel free to reach out to Blanca. She's available. She's going to change your life. I can guarantee it. Let's go, ladies. And thank you, Blanca, and give my regards to Tony. I know he's in the background. I know he's somewhere hiding.
He's my assistant.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the ladies who joined and asked questions. Thank you for all the hearts that are popping in here on the screen. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you for your comments. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate your time. It's been valuable. I'm learning just as much as you're learning. I'm super excited to be here, and I hope that it was valuable for each and every one of you. Look forward to your calls and to connecting.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ladies. And we will see you soon for another hot one. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Good night, ladies. Thank you. Relationships. When any of my clients pass away, I always tell the client, send me the check. I want to deliver the check personally to the family. Because the business does not stop when I meet you. The relationship goes on, right? And I take it very personal because you're trusting me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I want to earn your business. I want to earn your referrals. And, because it's important. If I do a great job for you, you're going to want to recommend me because you know that I'm doing a great job for you.
Yes. And you can expect a lot of people to reach out to you. Even I have somebody at work also that I already mentioned you many times already to him.